Mount Rushmore National Memorial is the world-famous monument completed in 1941. It features portraits of the most historically important U.S. presidents: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The current U.S. President, Donald Trump, joins them this time in the X. Heroically, he is positioned as number 5 next to Lincoln, and an artificial intelligence brings a joyful smile to the stone heads. The post can be read as symbolic, given that Trump announced on Friday, September 5th, that he would rename the Department of Defense to the War Department. Department of Defense sounded very protective, though, Trump said. The White House confirmed media reports about this. However, the move is not surprising, as Trump has repeatedly hinted at such plans. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth recently told Fox News that Trump's goal is to revive a warrior ethos and deter foreign attacks. However, he added that the agency is not seeking conflict, but simply wants to make the homeland safer. In the United States, the term War Department was not used until after World War II in 1949. According to U.S. government records, the name and department date back to 1789. The New York Times writes that it is unclear whether the name will take effect immediately after Trump's order. However, given the Republican majority in Congress, resistance is not expected. Recently, Trump has worked harder to build an image as a peacemaker who intervenes as a mediator and ends wars. He actively promotes himself as a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, similar to Barack Obama's in 2009. He has therefore presented several peace agreements in recent months, with the U.S. acting as mediator, although his efforts to end Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, for example, have failed to achieve any breakthrough. The U.S. government has participated in military interventions, such as in June. The U.S. intervened alongside Israel in the war against Iran and bombed Iranian nuclear facilities. Following Trump's orders, U.S. warplanes dropped bombs that destroyed bunkers without waiting for Congress to approve this decision. However, the U.S. military has also been deployed in completely different contexts. A few days ago, there was a U.S. attack on a ship in the southern Caribbean that had set off from Venezuela and was suspected of transporting drugs. Trump posted a video of the attack, which left 11 dead, on his Truth Social platform, which was likely intended as a distraction. In addition, military personnel are currently seen on the streets of the U.S. capital, Washington, D.C. Trump activated the National Guard weeks ago due to suspected widespread crime. Nearly 2,300 soldiers are scheduled to be present at least until the end of December, but not because of crime. In contrast, according to the Washington Post, many of the soldiers on rotation would not receive the promised health insurance benefits.